Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. This is another paid request, this time for Eric. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Skinamarink, try to say that 10 times fast, is a new experimental horror film in the year 2023. And my God, man, we're not even finished with January, and I can say, without any hyperbole, this is one of the most boring films I have ever seen in my life. And there's a few people out there respectfully disagree with you, but who are going to go that this is for people who are smart, and for people who want to watch films that make them think. If you don't want this isn't for you. I don't agree with that. There's nothing to think about in this. If this had one brain cell, it should be thankful for that. It's so stupid. We're going to Taco Bell and think it was at the border. It would take an umbrella to go see Purple Rain. Sorry, I don't buy that. And then also, this is why people should respect and go for original horror. And that's not the people who say that. I agree with that to an extent. I don't want to see countless sequels. I don't want Scream 6 with a Ghostface going into a store with a shotgun and waiting for Robocop to come in to shoot him in the face. I do want more original stuff, but at the same time, I'm not going to give any film a pass for any reason, unless it's entertaining, because that's first and foremost what movies usually are, for some type of entertainment. But if it's original, I'm not going to give it a pass because, okay, this is trying something different. Different doesn't automatically mean good. You have to judge each film accordingly. Otherwise, what's the point of having original stuff if it's crap as well? Sequels, pointless remakes, crap, original crap. That's still two pieces of crap. Shit sandwich. I screwed up the audio, I'm sure it's out of sync. I don't want a shit sandwich. If I want original, but of course it's all subjective. Like everything is subjective. Well, mostly everything. But for movie-wise, it's subjective. Mandy, which had a bit of horror. Nicolas Cage, really enjoy that film. You say that's original. Willy's Wonderland, another Nick Cage joint. Malignant, directed by James Wan. There's been other original material I've liked. This film wasn't it. Because this film, when I heard the title, I thought it was like a Disney Channel movie. It's not. I guess it's based on a short film, and then it got crowdfunded. The fact that this got crowdfunded does make me mad, because there's plenty of other movies and fan films and other stuff that could have been crowdfunded, but no one did. But then this got crowdfunded, and for 100 minutes, imagine a movie. I know I'm like 4 minutes in. The premise is two kids wake up in the middle of the night. Their dad is gone. The door to the outside is gone. And most of the film is the kids watching cartoons, looking at darkness, whispering to a point that even if you're over here, you can barely hear them. So thankfully, sometimes there's subtitles. I don't know why sometimes there's subtitles and sometimes they're not. Just make the whole thing subtitles. But, you know, if you don't subtitle some of them, just subtitle all of them. Just saying. But they're whispering all the time. And you're wondering why they're whispering. Even someone asks, why are we whispering? But that's never answered. And I know the director's trying to have some type of take on nightmares from the point of view of kids, because he was influenced by nightmares he's had, so it's trying to be a waking nightmare. You know what did that better? Jacob's Ladder from 1990. And that's an actual movie. Session 9 even. That's an actual movie. Both very good movies. Much creepier, scarier than anything in this film. I've had wet dreams that are scarier than this movie. And thankfully none of them with Lorena Bobbitt. But, this movie wasn't scary. If I ate a box of Frankenberry, it'd be scarier. Okay, imagine an entire movie where most of the shots are this. Imagine this, right? This is a shot at a corner of a ceiling. Without even that Cobra poster. And then it's just sitting here for like a full minute or 2. Or 3. And then this shot is... If it was the video, it'd be cool. But just that blank wall. Just a blank wall. Or there's a wall socket. And that's for like 2 minutes. And then another 2 minutes, before I screw this up, is people's feet. Like, this is like most of the a lot of the movies, like, people's feet. Or someone sitting. In the movie, their feet, or they're walking over here. And a lot of the films like this. You never see the people. You never see their faces. Except one moment where they have no mouth. And such. But that's most of it. Like, a door. But imagine imagine this is a door. But it's the top of the door of a closet. Then the door to the outside is gone. But imagine a door of a closet. And then there's like stuff here. And stuff falls, but you can't see it. So imagine like 2 minutes of this. Or imagine there's a TV, right? Imagine I'm the TV. But the TV is like over here with a public domain cartoon playing. Or it's shooting the carpet. And it's shooting the carpet for like 2 minutes. Or the kids' Legos. Or, imagine this laser disc with something, right? And it's like over here. And it stays there. And it stays there. And then someone's like pushing it. Like this. Without, seeing my hand. This is the equivalent of someone pushing the Legos. Like this. That's the 100 minutes of the fucking movie. I dare Michael Teen and Michael CP, I dare my friends to watch this movie and not stop, use the bathroom, get something to drink, shut it off, piss, get pissed, have aneurysm, go to sleep. I will say this one thing, it cures insomnia. I'll tell you that much. And don't get me started when back in the day, people complain about this film being boring. And people don't say, well, you just don't like films that leave stuff to the imagination. You want to know what film did that well? You want to know what film did that well that people said boring and I did not agree with them? This film, in 1999, did that well. Where you think of stuff and your imagination plays a big part into the fear or anxiety. This film. But you know what this film had? Had an actual story. Interviews with the folklore of the town, deal with the folklore of the Blair Witch, gathering little snippets of information based on the documentary they're making. So you learn bits and pieces. Or the story, oh yeah, this guy was killing these kids and put that kid in the corner. You get a bit of a mythology, backstory. The 3 main characters, you get their rapport with each other, how they interact with each other, how that changes through the course of this journey because of stress. And even stuff to look at. At least there's even... At least you're looking at faces, or look at all this stuff. The whole point is, well, we don't see people's faces because apparently that's creepier. No, watching a ceiling corner, I saw these kids' ceilings more than I see my own goddamn ceiling. With the amount of shots of the ceiling. I mean, I don't look at my ceiling that much. Because when I go to bed, I look at the inside eyelids of my eyes. Or look at my ass. Or look at my dick when I squirt with the fountain. Which I wish I'd rather be doing. Skinamarink. Stinkorama. Bullshit my dick. And if you like this film, good on you. I don't get it, but teach their own. But I'm sitting there going, if this is what nightmares are like, give me some, because I'll fall asleep with these type of nightmares. Again, I've had, wet dreams are scarier. And here's the thing, at first, I didn't know what this film was. When this request came, it came out of nowhere, RKO style, Randy Orton. And I'm like, okay, it's a weird title. The title is based on, there's a song in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, way back in the day. And then apparently this is a song that some kids would sing back in the day. Apparently not on the playgrounds I grew up with as a kid, because never heard of that song before. But because, we didn't watch Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, we were watching RoboCop or, or something else. But that's what what that title means to the film, really nothing. No Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I don't think the song makes an appearance. I say I don't think. You know what? Before I go further, there are times where I had to turn the sound low. And people go, why? If the film was so quiet and people were whispering. Believe me, I had it turned up so I could hear it. Because the kids, they're talking like this. And thankfully, there's some subtitles, but they're talking like this. And I'm like, what? They're talking like this. Then at about 35 minutes, there was such an ear-piercing scream sound. Maybe not a scream, but it was a sound that I thought I was going to be deaf for a few minutes, and I'm not kidding. Because you know how you're trying to listen, because they're very, very quiet, and then again, think of an ear-piercing like the type that would make dogs wail in pain, because it goes from 0 to 110 in the sound of an ear piercing that literally hurt me. So that's a double F you to this movie. F as in fuck you to this movie. And so if you ever see this, fair warning, at about 35 minutes in, and then again about 52 minutes, was it 52? No, 47 minutes. At 35 minutes in, there's one. At 47 minutes, there's another, give or take a minute or two. So I would say from 34 to 36 minutes, be careful. From like 45, 46 to 48, be careful. I thought it was like from 35 minutes and then one at 47 minutes. This ear-piercing sound showcases. So if you ever see it, be careful so you don't get the mistake I had. Then after the first time, I literally had to turn it down so I could barely hear what the hell people were saying. Not that that mattered, because there's barely any dialogue, and there's two little kids that have really nothing to say. There is no story. This is the equivalent of watching paint dry and calling it art. Hey, there's an apple. There's a secret of the universe. No, it's a fucking apple, and I'm going to eat it. Then I'm going to shove it up your ass. You porky pig looking motherfucker. It's just, there's nothing happening in the movie. And at first I was saying, I was kind of interested when I got the request because I never heard of it. Okay, I'm up for doing something a little bit different. Experimental, that could be very sketchy. But there's been films I've liked that were a bit experimental. Blair Witch Project 1999, back in the day, really enjoyed that. There's another found footage called Butterfly Kisses. Really enjoyed that because it's found footage, but there's a bit of meta into it. Pretty good story, in my opinion. There's this one with Gunnar Wright, the voice of Isaac Clarke in the Dead Space games. He did this sci-fi kind of experimental film called Love from 2011. I didn't mind that film. And there's other examples of that as well. I'm okay, it says it takes place in 1995, but it looks like it's shot in 1975 because it's very old school film scratches, like filmed on, I don't know if it was 35, 8mm, 8. Looked like old style in the way it was shot and looked. okay, as a fan of film, that's intriguing. But then for 10 minutes, it was just kid sits in a hallway. But we can't see the kid. We just see like the head cut off, and you see like his lap, and the father, whispers some stuff to him. We looked at a closet, and stuff's falling out, but stuff's falling out like right here. Again, imagine if this poster was a door, and there's stuff like here as like falling down as the camera's tilted up to this closet door. The slowly going down to the TV. Lights turn on. There's going a corner at a ceiling. Noises. You're wondering what the fuck's going on. There's a phone call. The dad says something about his kid sleepwalked, fell down the stairs. I'm like, did we miss that? Did we miss the kid sleepwalking, falling down the stairs? I guess we believe the dad. And then the two kids wake up. Their dad's gone. The phone, there's no dial tone. And the kids, they don't seem that freaked out that their dad's gone and missing. They don't seem that freaked out that the fucking door is missing. Because they go back to watching cartoons. And they show the cartoons, but again, if my face is the cartoon, it's like this. And I just realized I got the Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, you need that for this movie. What do we shoot for 2 minutes at a wall socket? Because that's art. There's a chair on the ceiling. Yeah, I saw it done. I've seen chair stuff done better in Poltergeist among many other films. There's a bit where someone has a flashlight. That's the thing. It seems like found footage, but it's not found footage. But it gives a found footage vibe, even though it's not found footage. So you see like a kid with a flashlight, and he stops, and the kid slowly turns. Slowly. Imagine if this is the point of view, and it's slowly. Oh, there's a Barbie doll. And the ear-piercing sound that will almost make your ears bleed, because it almost did mine, falls into... This is like a tit-tot, either dream, nightmare, I don't know what you call it. It's like for tit-tockers. I ain't a tit-tocker. I'm a motherfucker, I'm an asshole, but I ain't a tit-tocker. This is for shit like horror video game reactors to play a game that just have weird random shit and ooh, PewDiePie, ooh, it's so theory. Where's the bridge? What the fuck? We should be quiet. Why? Why should we be quiet? Why are the kids not freaked out that their dad's missing? Now, granted, I didn't want a whole film of kids crying, so kudos to that. But but this isn't supposed to be natural reaction. Nothing's supposed to be natural about it. The quote Kevin Dillon from the Blah remake, it's an experiment that fucked up. I'm sorry, I'm not scared of a toilet, then the toilet disappears, reappears quickly, then disappears. Yeah, in real life I'd be scared if my toilet disappeared, because I don't want to take a dump in a ditch. But I'm not scared of this cheapo effect from a shot on shitio film from back in 1985, where, imagine this, and then if I pause it, step out of frame, okay, imagine this. If I pause it, then the hand's gone. Pause it back, hands back. Like those, and at times it's like weird, goofy sound effects. When like a door or a toilet appears, disappear, appear, disappear. This film's so fucking bad, the toilet left the movie. When a device whose job is to be full of shit leaves your movie, you know it's fucking bad. That thing's job is to take crap. And even it said, gone, I'm done with this. Sayonara, pal. You take your movie, you shove it. Makes toilets walk away from disappear from the movie. And even the kids, it's like that all makes sense where, is their mom dead? Is their mom not dead? Because there's a point where, because we never see the kids, unless their legs, or you hear their voices, whispering like this, They're like, why is mom crying? Then 5 minutes later they go, maybe dad went with mom. We don't talk about that. So if they're saying that dad went where mom was, are they saying like dad left like mom left and died? But then 5 minutes ago they said, well, why is mom crying? And why none of the time, if the mom is there, why does no one go in and say, hey mom, what's going on? The door's missing, blah, blah, blah. Try to wake up the mom? No. No one ever tries to wake up the mom, unless the mom's supposed to be dead, but then why are they saying the mom's crying? That's what I mean. Like, none of this makes any sense at all. It's not supposed to make sense. It's just a nightmare. So just a bunch of random images, random stuff. Yeah, you know what? I can't even say that. That would maybe be more fun if it's just crazy randomness. Not just 5 minutes of a fucking corner of a fucking ceiling. That's what half the movie is. Or looking in darkness. Or looking at the carpet. I'm like, vacuum that shit. Or their Legos. Get some Ninja Turtle action figures or something, goddammit. And again, it's smart. Make a movie that's so quiet with two kids whispering and you can't barely hear, so yeah, you're trying to listen closely, maybe with headphones, and then put in an ear-piercing sound that could literally hurt your viewer, hurt people's eardrums, and maybe make them deaf. That's fantastic. Bravo. This is the thing. This is on Shudder as well as theaters. So you can watch it at home or in the theater. So then they go to the bedroom, and the dad's there, then he's gone, then the mom's there, and the mom's saying, close your eyes. Then she's gone, goes back downstairs. At one point you hear some crunching. I'm like, what is it? Someone eating some Rice Krispie treats? And we're like 40-some minutes in the movie, and there's an hour left. I'm sitting there going, I can't take this. Like, if this is a test to show how to make people insane, that would make more sense. I don't understand how anyone could be scared of this. This is more boring, annoying, and just, I'm like doing this, going, just nothing is happening. There is no story. There's no plot. There's no scares. There's no tension. I don't know what the reviews on the poster are talking about. I hope they got a good check for it. Oh, was it 52 minutes in? You get to hear someone piss. And then 2 minutes later, I heard me piss because I walked away to piss. Because thankfully my toilet stuck around because wasn't as bored as the toilet in this movie was bored to leave their sorry asses. And like I said, it was about 47 minutes where the second ear-piercing sound. I don't know if there's any after that because I turned it all the way down. Or almost all the way down after that. Legos in front of the TV. Again, the cartoon in the thing was a better movie. It got to the point I was just watching the cartoon. Like one of those free, like, public domain cartoons. I was watching that. Just I brought something to the table. I feel bad for the makers of that cartoon. I know it's public domain, but I feel bad that you got thrust into this business. You had no choice. So the plot, if I can manage to leak that out of my anus, is there's more whispering from this figure, and there's a jump scare, and there's someone with no mouth, and I believe that's the sister of the two kids. There's a sister and a brother. The sister, no mouth, and that kid's gone. Just as the little boy left. And there's literally a 5-minute scene where the camera's on the TV playing the cartoon, and the cartoon freezes. Imagine if I did this review and for 5 minutes I just did this. And to be fair, that didn't go for 5. But imagine a 5-minute scene and this was like a full, a minute. And then it moves and then freeze again. And then freeze again. Or a shot of their toys on the carpet. Something pushing their pile of Legos. And then a voice whispers to the kid, "Put the knife in your eye." And then the kid calmly calls someone and is like, "Hey, yeah, my dad has an errand. I have an owie." It's crazy that you make a film so simple and so boring and yet so damn confusing. This kid apparently put a knife in his eye. I guess we never see it. And the kid doesn't act like that. He just says he has a wound. He's calling someone. They're like, "We'll be there." And then like you stop hearing the kid talk and you're just hearing the operator talk. And then the phone drops and it's a toy phone. Because symbolism and it's nightmares. Have a nightmare. That's sad. I'd rather watch Elm Street 5, The Dream Master. I mean, the Dream Child than this. You can talk about nightmares. And I don't like that film, but I'd rather watch that than this. So then the voice says, your sister wouldn't shut up and wanted to be with her mom and dad, so I took her mouth away. And blah, blah, like the most dialogue we get out of this entity, whispering. The kid walks upstairs. We see their point of view. Opens the door. Goes black. Then they're on a ceiling. Walking on the ceiling. And you know that because like the light is now on the ground instead of whatever the hell. The light fixture. Whatever the fuck. And then there's like random shots of a void. Like a house looking this big. And long corridor that you barely see anything. One room that's like a bunch of toys upside down. And then this is literally how it ends. A fuzzy face that we can't see clearly for a reason says, "Go to sleep." Oh yeah, before that, the title says 572 days. I don't know if they just picked that number out of a hat. But 572 days. And the figure's like, I mean, wow. This figure may be such at his job if it took him over 500 days to finally get this kid and tell him go to sleep. I mean, if you're taking 572 days to tell a kid to go to sleep, you suck. At whatever job you have, you suck. And the figures go to sleep. And the kid asks, "What's your name? What's your name?" Figure doesn't answer. Cuts away. The end. Yep. This movie served no purpose. Even if there's if if this was based on a short film, at the very least, being a short film, it would be better than this. This never should have been a full length film. This is something that maybe people react to on YouTube, and some of them halfway through would get bored, or they don't, oh, over the top reaction. I'm scared, oh. I mean, this screams like a movie that, I don't know, YouTube reactors will love or something. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm sorry that at the beginning of the film, there's like a little message that says, someone involved with the film passed away. They like the assistant director. Listen, I'm sorry that happened, man. But I'm not going to give the film a pass because of that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry they passed. I'm glad they did something that they love to do, I would assume. But this is not a good movie. It's not a movie. Number one, because movies have stories, plots, anything in between. And it's a lousy, boring experiment. Not all experiments are good. I mean, if you want to see a film where it feels like over half the film is, shooting the corner over here. Like literally this, like a still shot of this. And trying to have spooky music and scratches on the camera. Now, obviously, I'm not holding it still, but if I find something to hold it still. If that's your fear, maybe it's made for people afraid of ceilings. I don't know. Afraid of door closets. Afraid of disappearing toilets. Afraid of carpets. Maybe you're afraid of that. I mean, even Blair Witch, you had, the weird twigs and stuff going on. More so than this. There's actually a progression of a story, getting more and more lost, suffering more and more, them getting angry and angry with each other. Blair Witch Project 99 isn't boring. I don't know why. I kept referencing that one because that's a film that's very low budget, that has not a lot being shown, leaves it to your imagination, and a lot of people call boring. I'm like, no, this was fucking boring. It's hard for me to think of a more boring movie. So yes, this is one of the most boring films, and when I rather watch Megan, and I did not like that Kill a Doll movie, Megan. I still think it sucks. I'd rather watch that movie than this movie. I mean, I've only seen two 2023 films. Of those two, this is the worst film of the year I've seen. Bar none. Because it's not a movie. Again, if people are scared of this, I get it. People are scared of different things. I don't get it, but I really do not. Really do not. This comes from a guy that I've liked a lot of found footage films that are showcases being boring and not showing much. Butterfly Kisses exists. The Tunnel, the original Blair Witch Project. Or it's not horror, but there's a fake documentary called Population Zero, and I enjoyed that. I don't need explosions every 5 minutes. I don't want it, Michael Bay. But this is a nothing movie. Watching paint dry, the movie. Skinamarink. Give me Skinamax any day over this shit.